Welcome to another live with yours truly, Cash, on the Incredible Cash Show. So, today I've got a new background thanks to Carrie. It's still in the test phase, but I don't know what you guys think. Looks good. I think I like it. There's another, oh, sorry. There's another one here. Let's go there. Hi, Marian. How are you doing tonight? Yeah, what do you think? I just got this in as a design, and I'm kind of digging it. It looks nice. So let me know what you guys think. All right, I gotta go to my cheat sheet. Give me 1 second while I do that to find out who is texting. Dun, 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 dun. Corey Case, what's up, brother? How you doing? All right. I gotta use the cheat sheets, man. Uh, all right, let's go back here. Appreciate that. It looks awesome, right? Yeah, I kind of like that color. What's up, Mike? Welcome to the show. I am kind of digging the whole color vibe thing. So, on the colors, we've got a few choices. So, Carrie gave me a couple different color variants. And what's up, Johnny Blades? Johnny Blades in the house. The dark truth. Half of it, at least. What's going on, brother? So, Carrie gave me a couple of choices. I'm gonna put them up here and kind of let you guys see which one you guys like. So there's that, there's that, there's that. I'm gonna kind of throw them all over the place and see what you guys think of the color schemes. Corey's been killing it on Facebook lately, man. I love what you've been doing, Corey. Keep it up, man. So, who's starting to feel the tax money coming in? I know we had a busy day today. Definitely felt like tax money is coming in. I've got a new hire that's gonna start tomorrow. Can't wait for that. So today we have the logo. If you guys can help me out with which color scheme you guys think looks good, we'll kind of go with that. I'm leaning more towards this one here. That's why I put that in my corner. But there's, there's this one that's got the green. That's got the clear up top. And then that's got the little pink flow to it. Oops. There we go. I'm never good with these arrows, man. All right. The background you have now looks the best. Yeah, I mean for the background, I like it. For just the name, I wanted to kind of narrow it down to which color would look good. Orange looks good, right? Yeah, I kind of like the orange myself. So what we got going on between Mike Watson and Marion? WFR. We can't be talking about WFR yet, man. The reunion stuff hasn't started yet. We don't start that until, next week or so on the talks on it. But definitely can't wait for that stuff. So I've just signed up for what's the next event? I'm not able to go down to the Expel XDC conference just because of the dates. But I just signed up for, I don't know what it's called. Damn. GeoShield's flat glass course in Louisiana. So that'd be my first time going to Louisiana. See what is up with that. Talking about last year. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, last year was awesome, man. I mean, I can't wait for this year. Mike's talking about last year. Okay. So, business wise, what are we talking about business? What's new with you guys in your business? Has your business taken any effect to the tax money coming in? I know some people are feeling it, some people are not feeling it. So I'm going to get rid of some of these cash flows and just stick with the orange. I guess the orange is the only one we got kind of liked. All right. Anybody else going to the GeoShield flat course in June? Let me know. Maybe we'll hook up somewhere and have some fun. Anyways, so today I want to kind of talk about going back to credit cards, talking about paying off some debt, some business planning for this tax season, as well as hiring employees, and what is the best practice that you guys found on hiring employees. I like that. I've been selling a lot of adhesive remover lately. Tax season is here. For sure. I mean, I definitely felt really well Saturday and today. Like the business definitely took a toll. We were kind of overwhelmed for a little bit this morning. Man, I got in 20 some minutes early and I already had customers. And it was just nonstop. Like I didn't realize it was 11:55 was lunchtime. That's how busy we were this morning. So I'm definitely feeling it out of my business. So hopefully everybody else is kind of feeling it and taking full advantage. Again, not to be the bearer of bad news, but 2023 is supposedly supposed to be year of financial issues. So if you can grab as much money as fast as you can and save it or use it or invest it, do that, man. I mean, that's gonna be my advice for everybody on the money end. Also, for the guys that are trying to build credit or restore credit or just start up credit, look, man, if you guys are, especially in the window tinting business or in the automotive business or any business right now, as the tax money is coming in, you're getting more hours, you're getting more income. Take that income instead of wasting it or blowing it, use it wisely. Pay off your debt. Go build those credit builder credit cards. If you've seen my previous streams, Bank of America's got a couple different options. Look through them and see what best suits you to your needs and build those. Again, I will advise if you're going to open up a credit card and it's a builder credit card, use the ones that banks have compared to the ones that like Capital One gives you automatically. The problem with the Capital One automatically is that they start you off with a um, very low limit, and that kind of slows up your credit scoring as well as your credit status in the long run. So when you're starting off, start off with a stronger credit card balance or available credit. I recommend as much as possible try to be close to 1,000 or more on your first card, so that way as you grow, you guys can grow your credit cards and credit score. And this is the time to kind of save that money and use it. I know me and Corey, we talked about some stuff before, but um, If anybody needs any one-on-one or wants to come on the show and use, someone's at my door. Okay. All right. So if you need some assistance one-on-one, like Billy Aiton did, or Corey did, or any of the other guys that call me, please let me know, man. I'm here to help you guys out, not only on the show, but if you guys need to do it privately, give me a call. Uh, let's look at your credit reports. Let's look at paying off the debt that you have. If you got inquiries or if you got something on your credit that needs to be taken off, take the minute to talk to those credit agencies and get that off. What's going on, T-Town? How you doing, brother? I'm gonna pick up and move down towards you and just work for you, bro. It's hectic down here. Laugh out loud. All right, who is that? Again, I gotta go to my cheat sheet and see who did that. Corey Case. Hey, man, Corey, you're more than welcome to come work for me, bro. I'll make sure you get paid well, brother. And we'll make sure we get that credit score back up. Uh, Jeremy Davis in the house. Thank you. This is the new design by Carrie. She is still playing with it, but I'm loving it. I'm loving the design. I'm loving the whole color schemes and all the background within the background. It's uh, it's really nice. I couldn't wait to share it. I don't even have the proper copies. I just took the little demos that she sent me and just copied and pasted it just to kind of show it off. I just couldn't wait. Next week I do have a realtor that's gonna be coming on and share her information. If anybody is looking to either invest in a house, buy a house, or any real estate questions you guys may have. She is very well known in the community. She is rated um, top realtor in the Atlanta area. She's a big influencer on some of the social media. So watch out for that next week. She's got thousands of followers on TikTok and Instagram, and she was rated top real estate Instagram influencers to follow for 23. Whole bunch of stuff to come up. I'll share that on Wednesday with you guys. And I can't wait for that show next week. So this week, hiring people. So I've been hiring people lately, both side of the business for my tires and wheels as well as my tent side. I've had a whole bunch of people that have inquired, and just like the Facebook tent inquiries, they inquire and then all of a sudden disappear. I don't know, maybe I'm doing something wrong. So maybe, people can share what they're doing. Yeah, Jeremy, she really did a nice job on the design. I'm really loving it, honestly. Um, the colors, the whole thing. I actually wear glasses. As most of you guys probably see me in person, I don't wear it for the show just because I don't want any reflection on, and I don't need it for near side. It's usually more for the far side. But she kind of put the glasses in there. They're kind of hidden, but let me see. There's these glasses. That's within the design. I really like that touch. So T-Town says she's working on something for me right now. I can't wait. I mean, she's working on a lot of people's stuff, man. So like with Carrie, you just kind of gotta get in line, man. I told her, hey, take your time, just do whatever you can for me, and she's been great. She's been awesome to work with and get this going. If I own my house and land outright, it's all paid for. Do I have to pay taxes on it? Still, hell yeah, you gotta pay taxes on it. That's how the government's gonna make their money. And if you don't pay your taxes on it, guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna get a foreclosure on the damn thing. So don't skip on the taxes, man. You can't hide away from the government. Oh man, yeah, no doubt, Jeremy, on that. Going with Carrie was questionably not even a question. Carrie is awesome on a lot of her designs and stuff. Everything she touches is just it turns into gold, man. Honestly. Yeah, Corey. There's really no way you can get away from taxes, even on paid properties and stuff. Uh, Even with your vehicle registration, man, your car note's paid, but you got to pay registration every year, right? That's still part of some of those taxes. So you got to pay your taxes, man. Stay on top of that. Don't let that stuff get behind because the interest and the penalties on this thing, on anything with the government, adds up to be more than what the initial costs are. Um, don't ask me how I know because I've dealt with that firsthand, and it wasn't even my fault. Um, so who do I contact? Your county. Your county is going to be the one that's going to be taxing you. So, whatever county you're in, the tax commissioner is going to be the person that's probably going to be responsible for your taxes. They should be sending you a tax bill every year, and you should be paying that. Depending on each state, everybody's got a different time and frame, but most of the taxes in most places are due later on in the year, and they usually send you notices in the first quarter or before, first or second quarter of the year. But they usually do between third and fourth quarter of the year. But again, I would check with your county where you are located at and see if the county is responsible or the city is responsible. Some scenarios the city may be involved, but for most part, it's the county that you live in that is the person, or the tax commissioner is the person that you want to get in touch with. You should have been paying your taxes. So if you're asking that question and you got your land paid off, man, I'm only wondering if you have not paid any previous taxes and might be liable for that stuff. I would jump on that ASAP before you get any foreclosure notices, and the tax um, interest and penalties just add up. I'll give you a little backstory on taxes. This is a true story. So in 2006, 2004, I sold a business. I closed out everything on my end, but I had a partnership. And the partner was supposed to finish out the taxes for the business aspect. So I did my personal taxes, paid my taxes, everything's done. On the business, we took a loss. So there wasn't any tax liability for me on that aspect. But this partner's bookkeeper, to give the benefit to my partner, somehow showed a small profit and didn't tell me about it. So, to my unknown, I didn't owe anything. This was for 2004 taxes, which weren't due until 2005. And in 2006, I moved to Florida. And this is California. So I was in Florida for only about a year and a half. So in 2007, I moved to Georgia, end of 2007. So what happened is 2006, they saw that there's a little discrepancy in the taxes, and they sent out a notice saying, "Hey, you owe us." Um, what was it? It was like it wasn't even that much, man. It was a very small amount. I think like maybe 400 and some dollars. Well, here's a fun story. It might be boring for some of you, but it's a fun story. So I moved from Florida to Georgia in end of 2007. I moved to a temporary house. To me, at least, it was a temporary house for the first 2 years. The notice went to my original house in California in 2006, bounced back to them in 2007. They got the address for Florida in 2008. It went to Florida. It bounced back. In 2010, I moved to a different spot in Georgia. So it went to Georgia, my previous address. And long story short, in 2012, uh, year before my youngest daughter was born, I get this notice saying I owe $13,000 in taxes. Now, kid you not, the initial tax liability was only 400 some dollars. Interest and penalty added up to being $13,000 because it took the state of California to realize that I had moved a whole bunch of stuff times, and I don't need to report to them because I'm not doing any business in California anymore. I don't have any tax liabilities in California. I don't have any property left in California. So on my end, I'm kind of done and moved on. But anyways, 2012, I get this letter. I locate my old bookkeeper. She had, well, it was her father's business. The father had closed up the bookkeeping in 2009, and the daughter was working for him, and she went and joined another firm. So I had to get in touch with her. It took us about 9 months to kind of figure everything out for her to get in touch with California State and be like, hey, here's his tax returns. He didn't have any. Well, he had the liability he paid already. We don't know where you're coming up with this. Well, in 2013, I found out it was one of my businesses that I was in partners with. They showed a little bit profit, didn't tell me about it. So I am legally responsible. So in 2013, I fly out to California and try to go visit State Board of California to figure out what they can do for me. What they told me is that what we can do for you is we can make payments, but you are liable for every single penny. Does not matter that the notices didn't get to me until 6 years later. So, Corey, in that case, my recommendation, highly, to you is go find out your tax liability, pay ASAP. Don't let what happened to me happen to you. Okay, thank you. Good info. I haven't been it not been too long, so yeah, I'll take care of it 100% ASAP. Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, whatever. You're probably not that liable, especially if you don't have a school nearby or a hospital. The closer you are to some of these facilities, the higher tax rate you're gonna pay. So if you got your land paid off and you're probably far off a little bit, you probably don't have that much liability on taxes anyways, but just pay it off, man. A lot of the people that are retired, their houses go in foreclosure because they are on a limited income and they do not realize their tax liabilities, especially when a lot of the cities or the counties are trying to get investors to come in and redevelop. They will increase the tax liabilities, or if somebody is a retired personnel, I see this more and more happening is that they'll increase their tax liabilities and they're not able to pay their taxes. Therefore, their property goes into foreclosure and ultimately they end up losing their house that they probably spend their whole life paying off. So that's why, guys, retirement plans, retirement income, and retirement money is very important as well when you're talking financial freedom. Is that you need to look for what you're going to be also doing in 20, 25 years, 10 years, whatever your retirement plan is. Make sure you have funds for that stuff as well. Tax liability in the United States is the biggest liability anybody and everybody has. There's no way you can get away with that. Doesn't matter if you're the president of the United States. Everybody is liable for the taxes. They have to pay for it. Now, there are a lot of tax loopholes and a lot of tax advantages. A lot of people figure out how to take advantage of. Um, that all depends on your bookkeeper, CPA. The other advice on that would be is pay your tax consultant right. and make sure that you get all the benefits. Going with the cheap bookkeeping personnel or CPA may be cheap up front, but ultimately it does not benefit you because they may not be up to code. And a lot of these guys that if they're not up to code, they can't give you all the deductions that you um, you know, are eligible for. So for that, Tim has a tax guy that was actually a guest a few months back. You may want to follow him as well. I do listen to him. He's got great advice here and there. Um, I'm not a consistent follower on his. It just got too much going on. But whenever I get a chance, I love seeing his stuff. And he has very good advice. He does not like LLC, or he don't think the LLCs are that important. So you may may like it, may not like it, but I think the guy is great. He has a lot of good information. The guy's channel, I believe, is called the Self-Employed Tax Guy. Um, if you if you don't know, that's where you want to go to. So I'll put it here: the Self-Employed Tax Guy. That is his YouTube channel. Oh wow! It came up with the Facebook, YouTube, as well as Twitch link. So if you guys see the comments, that is in there. Like Tim said, he does great things. Yeah, I mean, he's got great information, man. I mean, honestly, if you guys have not seen him or have not seen his show, look it up. Uh, I'm probably gonna reach out to him maybe next month and maybe see if we can have him back on as a guest again. It was a great show that we did last time, but since it's tax times, he's probably busy. Maybe we can get him after the tax season. But right now we'll see what happens. But that is tax liabilities, guys. So take care of your tax liability. Again, goal for this tax season: save up money, pay off your debt, get credit cards. If you need credit cards, get credit cards with secure cards that you can get your money back within a year and have a true credit card, and you can build your score real fast. If you need more details on it, we can talk about that for sure. Let me know. Uh, Going to the hiring plan. So a lot of you guys are business owners or individuals. I'm not looking for Nipsey's opinion here, but I am looking for what valid opinion a lot of you guys have when you guys are hiring employees. What do you think if you were to go work for somebody is the best way to get paid? Percentage wise is always going to be an argument between what the employee is going to want or what the employer wants as well. So, but do you guys do just flat out? Do you guys do percentage? Do you guys think splitting the cost is the way to kind of go? So, give me your opinions on that, man. Comment whenever you get a chance. Tim said he was just on In Kitchen on YouTube. Have to catch that here. He was in Long Beach at a t-shirt convention. Yeah, T-Town does t-shirts too, so T-Town follows that as well. I paid off 3 cards. Can't wait to see what happens when they're post to my credit. Awesome. So you got any more cards that needs to be paid off, Tim? Like I said, this is the time, man. If you're gonna hustle hard, work hard, save up the money, pay off those cards, and build your credit. This is the perfect time to do it, man. This is the opportunity that you don't want to waste next 4 or 5 months when the season's high. Use it, man. Work extra hours. Get that business going. That would be my business advice of the day for credit cards. Um, Rick Tallman in the house. Welcome, Rick. WFR is starting to be on fire. Everybody can't wait for the reunion information, man, which is supposed to be happening next month, guys. So stay tuned. You're gonna get all this information. What it be? What it be? What it be? I want to do a video on trusts, different types, and benefits extra. Yeah, man, I've got a guy for that. We can definitely do. If you're gonna do something or you need information on that, let me know. Tim's got 4 more cars to go. Hell yeah, man! You got 3 paid off. You're almost 50% there. What's up? What's up? Now, who is that? That is Trey Williams. What's going on, Trey? Welcome to the show. All right. So, Rick, you have videos that you're gonna make about trust, or do you have questions about trust and their benefits? Let us know if you want me to get with my guy and we can talk about it, or even do a live on it. We can do that, man. I do have a specialist that handles that stuff, especially in Georgia, and they do stuff in other states as well. All right, so hiring. Anybody have any advice on hiring and how to pay people, or what should be the payment split? All right, all right, guys. Sorry, just catching up on some stuff on the side here with the questions on the show. Business plans. All right, what is the business plans? My business plan is work hard and get every customer that I can. I hope you guys are doing the same. I figure that it is extremely good things to know. I have extremely limited knowledge, but I know enough that you should be talking about it. But yeah, I mean, trusts are very important. We should be talking about trust. A lot of people that have real estate or that have any kind of equity or money that they're going to leave over. Trust are great ways not only for tax benefits but also to dictate and control how your beneficiary will use the tax. Um, I mean, will use that real estate and the money and whatever you leave them behind. Especially with a lot of you guys that are worried about, hey man, if I leave my money to my kids, they're gonna waste it. They may turn into druggies. They may, do this, that. Trust are very good vessels to use to kind of control how your kids get the money, how much money they get, what time of their life they can get it, and what they got to do to get it. So there's a lot of different stuff that you can do. And then there's definitely tax benefits that can uh, be taken advantage of doing a trust instead of doing, just the regular will. Will is important, but trust can give you a lot of benefits. Better than a will that must go through probate. Look at that. Rick is on his game today, man. I'm loving it, Rick. Exactly. So will go through probate. Will also, when you leave a state and stuff, has tax liabilities that you can get some benefits with trust that you're not liable for, or has more benefits for. So there's definitely benefits of having a trust and building a trust and leaving that trust to your loved ones. So definitely, Rick. I'm gonna talk to my person and see if we can get them on a show in the near future that we can talk about trust and their benefits and their tax benefits, as well as what the trust's limitations are, what they can do, and how they can be performed. We talked about it a few different times on a very small occasion, but I want to get a specialist in here that can probably answer more detailed questions uh, on the trust, so that way we can answer everybody's questions properly. So What else we had on in store today? All right. So business plans. Business plans, one thing I will tell you, if you're gonna start a business this year or you plan on opening a business or you're saving up for businesses, don't get disencouraged, man. Just because we put out a lot of liabilities and we talk about having funds and stuff to do a business, don't let that scare you or limit you to what you want to do. If you really believe in what you can do and you're willing to do the hard work and you don't have a lot of liabilities, then liabilities can also be family, man. So if you got a wife and children that you got to take care of, just be cautious on what you do on that, but take full advantage, man. I mean, if you love what you're doing and you want to do it hard, do it. My thing is just plan it out, plan, and it will work for your benefit. Hustle is a very big key on it, but do plan it out, man. Go for what you want, and I'm curious to hear payment structure for employees. Yeah, I mean, so like, my opinion on it is that giving employees a base and then giving employees a benefit to kind of build their own pay structure is what I like doing. Okay, so for example, let me say I've got a even on my tire changing. So like we pay them hourly, but then we also pay them a portion on what they do on the car. So if I've got four tires and wheels that needs to be mounted balanced, and I'm charging them, let's say $100. Well, 20 of that dollars goes to my employees because I give them incentive to do this job and to do more jobs. And especially if an employee can knock out more cars, then he should get a benefit for that. He should be awarded extra for that compared to an employee that takes 2 hours to do a car where an employee does it in 1 hour. Same thing on tenters. I'm kind of leaning towards the same thing. Is that I want to give my tenters base pay so that way, especially when they're slow, as a business owner, I'm taking the liability that they have a steady minimum paycheck, but give them a portion of the ticket. Work out a percentage that is beneficial to both. Now, I don't agree with 50-50. There is, if you're running a real business, when I say real businesses, I'm talking about overhead, insurance, continuous advertisement, all that stuff. So, like my goal this year, especially with me coming on, uh, with window tinting going in full effect, my expense every month is going to be close to $5,000 in advertisement. Uh, $650 is just the website that I'm building that's going to cater a lot of stuff towards it and bring in me some content. But there's going to be heavy Google investments, there's going to be heavy Facebook investments, Instagram we're going to have to play with, definitely YouTube. So if you want to go 50-50, then you got to also look at those expenses. If you're a real business, that should not be the employee's portion. That should be the business person. That's why you got to work out, in my opinion, what is going to be beneficial both for the business and for the employee. So employees need to do understand that unless they want to go in and do true 50-50, and then for that you're also talking about all these other expenses. When I do uh, pay structure on my end, I'm not having my employees worry about that. I'm not even having my employees worry about a lot of the simple shop supplies. What we're worrying about is the hardcore uh, cost of materials. That's what we're usually using. So that's my opinion on it. Again, I'd love to hear other employers and other employees see what their opinion is, what they think should be the way. I don't, again, unless we're talking about other expenses, because a lot of people don't realize as a business owner, you have a lot of overhead. Not only the rent, not only um, the electrical or the insurance or the utilities. You have all this other stuff that you got to do to keep a business going, bringing in customers. How are you doing that? All right, so we got some chats going on. Let's figure out. Extremely good thing to know. Extremely better than Will. I'm curious on employees. We already talked about that. What do we got here? Chrissy, so much for the hats. Elizabeth Tallman loves her. I love mine too. Thank you, Marion. I know I've said it before, but I love it. Um, Only thing I'm jealous on now on mine is I got my hat before Mike Powell put that out there that he wants signature hats. And I'm like, damn, the only signature hats I got are Mike Powell's and Kyle Williams, since I attended that opening for them and I had them sign their hats just because who they were. 40 by themselves, 20 for two tenters. Um, so now let's even talk about this. I know 40%. I know Nipsey's talked about this as well, and it's kind of got a lot of controversial answers and point of views off of it. Now you're talking about 40 right off the ticket, so the business owner is liable for, well, business owner gets 60% and then he has to take his materials out of that 60%. What about advertisement? When you're paying the tinter 40%, are the tinters just tinting or are they also going to be like Shady where they're advertising, creating content to bring business in and all that stuff? Now, that's where I think it's a very fine line, depending on what the business is gonna bring in, what kind of volume they're gonna bring in. If you're a slow business, like a small business, and you're not bringing in or you're not investing in advertisement and stuff, I agree. It should be more towards that. But if you're a heavy business that's going to bring in larger volume and you're going to be heavily investing in to create clientele for your tenters, and your tenters are not creating a lot of content or doing a lot of that work, I don't think that 40% is quite where it needs to be at. That's my opinion, especially when I'm paying them hourly plus hourly on top of that. So late, man. First thing I hear is Shady. Hey, bro, I can't have a show without mentioning Shady, bro. That's just my love. I love Shady. So we don't have volume, and I never wanted a percentage for advertising and being myself. As long as I wasn't told how to do it exactly, I think it's case to case. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. It's case to case. So just putting a flat percentage right off the top for everybody, it's not fair, and it's also not fair for a 10-year-old veteran to get paid same as a 1-year-old. Um, Same thing with somebody that's been doing 20 years old. So it is case to case. There is a reason why if you go to a dealership and they have an ASE certification guy that gets paid crazy amount of money, and then you have 20 other mechanics that don't get paid as well, but they're doing all the work. The ASE guy spent years and years perfecting his game, and he is the troubleshooter. So he's built that up to get paid what he's due. A lot of these other guys are coming in. They're not going to any of these trainings. They're not doing any of these tests. They're not getting the ASC certification. They might be as good as that, but at the same time, it's what you're going to be able to produce on there. So again, it's a case to case. Business owner makes the 60% of each tint. So yes, business owners should think of multiplying the work, such as things you mentioned with advertising. Business owners always gets paid last. So I mean, right? I mean, so Rick, on this, what a lot of tenders also, a lot of employees also need to realize is that if the business owner who's invested a whole bunch of money for the most part. Again, case to case is going to be a little bit different depending on who's investing how much money. If you got a larger facility and you're invested hundreds of thousands of dollars for this facility, if you're not, as a business owner, you're not getting any real profit back at the end of the day after all your expenses, you're not gonna be in a business long, and you're gonna close that down. So what's gonna happen to that employee? Those employees are gonna now have to go look for a job somewhere else. Look at how many homeless cases we got going on right now in the country. We got more and more homeless people popping up like crazy. I know Atlanta is super super crazy with homeless. I am lately been dealing with a lot of homeless at my facility, and now I'm having forced to put up a fence on my boundary because these guys come in at 1, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. They're doing drug deals on my property. They're breaking my property, damaging it, and the police don't give a damn because they're homeless. The homeless wants to be in a jail anyway, especially when it's cold weather, because they want to get a free meal and they want to have a shelter. So there's a lot of things that go into that. So good content here, man. I mean, I'm loving when people discuss this stuff. If I make a post that makes us thousands in a day or lands a huge contract, then yeah, I may negotiate some uh, compensation. I just know we don't make a shitload of money at the shop. So again, like I said, Shady, everybody's scenarios and situations are different. So whatever works. I mean, you and your guy have a great relationship. As long as you guys have a great relationship and understanding, and you guys are both fine with it, that is great, man. I mean, that's where it really comes over to where it should be at. Hourly plus commission can certainly be different. It's definitely case to case. Yeah. So I mean, so on my scenario, when I say hourly plus commission, is because I want to have my guys in case there's a downtime or especially slow season. I don't like to hire people for season. Okay, like I don't believe in the Amazon way when they're really busy, Christmas time, Thanksgiving time, hire a whole bunch of people, pay them crazy amount of money, and then as soon as Christmas is over, your load's gone, you fire a whole bunch of people. Like my goal is as a business owner is to look out for the long run and have a long-term relationship with my employees because to me my employees are part of my family. So I think fairness is there, but there should also be understanding both sides. Again, yeah, I might not be hitting everybody to what they're like. I think it's just about how you take care of your family and how you treat your guys. If you just treat them as employees or if you treat them as family. Um, Currently, my supervisor for my tire side, man, he's been with us for what almost 11 years. There's a reason why he's with us for 11 years. I trust this guy with my whole shop. I mean, this guy, he's like a brother to me. You know, his wife, his kid, when his mother passed away, me taking care of his flight was the least of it. To me, again, it's a long-term relationship. Now, as a new hire, I'm not going to give you the same respect or same treatment as what I've built up with this guy, but my goal is to build up a long-term relationship. And a lot of these employees these days, they want the quick buck right off the top because they don't want to show their earning, they don't want to show their workmanship, and they want to hit it and quit it type of deal. And I don't think that benefits anybody in the long run. Um, all right, so here we go. I'm behind on some of these chats. The owner has cash flow and financial responsibilities. That's enough for me to be okay with not making a lot of money compared to what the profit is for the business. Right. Again, Shady's got a great situation, smaller town, smaller operation, and you guys are both happy with what you guys getting. Then you have the freedom to do what you want in a company without micromanaging. That's priceless. That's something not everyone can do. Exactly. So if you have smaller operations, you can do that. When you have larger operations, there has to be that McDonald's micromanaging there, especially if you're gonna have plans to expand and have multiple, there needs to be a way of duplicating your process. Therefore, micromanaging is put in place just because of that. And A lot of people understand that. A lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people think, oh, just you're a control freak. It's not always about control freak. It's about the long term vision that a lot of people have. You should have a vision of what you want to do in a year, 3 years, 5 years, and 10 years. If you don't, you are not going to succeed. Whether you like this comment or not, that's the reality of it to me. Speaking from being homeless, personally, I actually didn't want to be in jail, but damn, when I didn't have food or bad, I agree, I'd rather be in jail. I mean, look, man, 2 nights ago, I had this guy that literally, 1:45, and my phone is going off like crazy because I've got motions going off in multiple cameras. And this guy literally takes a smoke, uh, ashtray that we got on the wall that's probably this big for our customers to keep the place clean. He literally breaks that part out, and I don't know what he was trying to do, get high or whatever. It looks like he was trying to get high. Then he smashes the damn thing. Luckily, he didn't smash my windows. Smashes that to get cigarette butts, and then he goes to other side of my building and try to break a few other items. And it's getting to a point where you're now afraid that, hey man, 2 o'clock, I get on the, and I've got these cameras that I can speak to, and I tell them, and there's two of them, and I'm like, I get on, I'm like, hey, you're trespassing, you need to be off the property. There is a line on the property that says do not, trespass. And one guy that wasn't that high left right off. The other guy said, I don't give a damn. I said, I'm going to have to call the police if you don't go. Call the police. I ain't going nowhere. And here's the funny thing. The next morning, my guy sees the guy, recognizes him from the video, and confronts him. And the guy's like, do what you want, man. I ain't doing, I'm not stopping from coming over. I'll do whatever. Like, he didn't give a damn. And literally, when I told him I'm going to call the police to have him put in jail, he's like, call the police. I mean, so now I have to spend thousands of dollars putting up a full fence in front of my property, which is 200 some feet in the front. I've got to build these two huge gates. That's probably going to end up costing me thousands of dollars. But the reality is, in the long run, um, there's more homeless coming out. There's going to be even more with the financial crisis that we're going to hit, which obviously is going to happen. There's no denying it. When it's going to hit, don't know. Uh, the prediction is it's going to hit. So that's what I say. Hustle hard, save up money, do what you want to do, and just have plans and reserves to make sure that you and your family is taken care of. Replying to Rick Tallman. Yes, thank you. Love. That is. I have no idea who that is. I missed that part. I'm kind of a little behind. So sorry if I didn't recognize you. It didn't come up with your name. Cash of subject a bit. I can't help but to point out it looks like you have a halo above your head at times with your new graphic. I'll have to watch it. I'm not quite paying attention to my video that well. Create a team and not a batch of workers. Exactly. But you got to create a family. Exactly, Rick. You're 100% right. It's all about creating family and treating your guys as family. Is that the guy who rocks my hoodie? No, actually, that the guy that rocks your hoodie, Jordan, is actually a new guy. He's my helper. So this kid came into my facility. Give you a little back history on this kid, and I love this kid for this whole reason is that he came to work for me on my tire side last year, um, probably around this time of year, maybe. No, actually, a little bit later. He came in, I think, end of March, and he was with us in, yeah, March and April. In May, he took 4 days off to go visit his girlfriend. Anyways, crazy story. They have an altercation. He went out of state into Mississippi from Georgia, uh, and he gets stabbed 5 times to a point where he's literally has a lung uh, that gets stabbed, and he was in ICU pretty bad for a little bit. and his mom calls me and tells me that he's in bad condition. We didn't know what hospital he was in. I was also on vacation at the same time. I was in California for my niece's engagement. So I'm trying to communicate with my guys. My guys are trying to find out, and his phone's not being attended. We don't have the mother's number because she called the shop, and at that time we were super busy. The person that took it didn't take all the detail. The mother just said that, hey, I'm just calling for Valor, that he's in the hospital. He can't come to work. That was it. She kind of hung up. She was in a you know a certain stage at that time, worried for her baby. So, anyways, month or so passed. This guy reached back out to me. He's like, "Hey, Cash, do I still have the job? I still want to work with you, and can I work with you?" So, as a business owner, I have to also take responsibility on a lot of the liabilities and stuff. So I told him, "Hey, listen, when you get well, come talk to me, and we'll see what we can do." Obviously, him getting stabbed 5 or 6 times is does not leave him um, physically capable of doing the heavy lifting with the tires and wheels that is involved. So, last year was my own year of building my craft on the window tinting and building a facility to have a team to do what they're going to do this year. So when he got better, I think it took him maybe 3 months or so. He came in. He's like, "Yeah, man, I love to work with you. I really enjoyed the few months I was here. I just want any chance to do whatever I can." So, as a business liability, all I asked from him was like, "Hey, give me a doctor's note saying that you are able to work, so that therefore, when it comes down to workers' comp and insurance, I have something in writing that I can turn in saying, hey, the liability is not quite on me. I was due diligence on my end to take care of that." He came in, he worked maybe a few days, and when he tried to jack up the car, it made him dizzy and lose a little balance. So he came and talked to me like, "Hey, man, I can't do this." And um, I don't want to quit, but I can. He was honest with me. I can do what's required of me. So we build up a job for him. We build up a job. I'm like, okay, hey, you want to do window tending? There's no heavy lifting. There is some work, but there's no heavy lifting. So I've been training this kid, and he's been kind of working part time with me and to become a tinter. So hopefully this year he'll be a tinter. So when you had your hoodie, um, I asked him if he wanted a hoodie because I just like the energy from this kid. So he's like, yeah, well, I would love it. So I got the hoodie for him. That's the backstory on that, Jordan. But Ram is my guy. Sometimes he comes on the lives for just a little bit, but Ram is my guy that's been with me for years and years. Anyways, guys, we are almost at the 1 hour mark. So if there's anything else you guys want to talk about, I know there wasn't any Pacific contact today, but I didn't want to miss a live just because I actually had somebody lined up this week, but then we were on off last week confirming it. So that's why there was no advertisement for this week. Next week, I do have somebody locked in as a realtor. So I get, like I said, anybody that has any real estate questions, want to talk to this person. She's also an entrepreneur. She's also has her own business and does a whole bunch of stuff. She also does some content on a couple different social medias, and is very well known on some of that stuff. So if anybody has anything that they want to talk about, don't miss out next week. Other than that, you guys have a great week. We will see you next Monday. Um, and just go kill it, man. I mean, just work hard, bust it, hustle, and let's get that bread. Other than that, guys, have a great night.